I did not invent the notion of a courageous middle. It would be truer to say that I discovered it even before knowing that it had a name. It is the purpose of this book to invite you into the story of the courageous middle in hopes that you will want to become a part of it. At first, the idea of a courageous middle is a curious one. We do not instinctively think of the middle as a place of courage. It's more often seen as a place of timidity or weakness or fearfulness, a place we wander about until we dare to choose a side. I want to suggest that in reality, in this polarized moment in our society and in the church, the most courageous choice we can make is to occupy the middle. I don't mean that we just take up space in the middle or that we wait passively as observers for something to happen or for someone else to do something interesting. Rather, we choose each day and in each situation to work actively in this middle space in such a way that we convene a new community of individuals who together can imagine a way forward out of the polarization that is dividing our families, our workplaces, our politics, and our churches. Instead of our collective creativity as a society being used to maintain our side, whatever that side is in a particular situation or on a specific issue, we are directing that energy forward in service to the common good. At first, this work might not sound too exciting. It's not as loud or as confident as the work of the poles, where we have clearly defined the problem and neatly divided the world into our friends and our enemies. On the edges, it's also easier to keep score because one side will be winning and the other losing. The work of the courageous middle is not like that. It's more like being part of an underground resistance movement. You will gradually come to recognize others who are doing the same work, side by side in creative collaboration toward a common goal that is larger and more comprehensive than the goals that keep us divided. It is more like the work of leaven or salt, the images that Jesus used to describe change agents who do not draw attention to themselves, but who in the end affect the desired outcome of the entire enterprise. I'm grateful for those in my life at every stage who modeled for me what it means to live courageously in middle space, and to dare to bring all of who I am into that space in the hopeful expectation of making a difference for good for others. It would have been much easier at many points to make myself smaller to fit into one of the readily available boxes on one side or another. I'm grateful for God's providential and improvisational grace, which led me finally to understand that this work of the courageous middle is holy work, modeled for us in the scriptures of the Old and New Testaments, and finally in the incarnation of Jesus Christ, who came to be in his person the ultimate convener of radically redemptive middle space. I'm grateful to those who responded to the notion of a courageous middle when I first began to speak of it in my work as president of Houghton College. Our Lord Jesus might be judged from all outward appearances as the ultimate example of a failed calculation of risk. His lifelong efforts to move his people from all ends of the religious spectrum to a deeper and more imaginative understanding of what it means to fulfill the law, to love God with all one's mind, heart, soul, and strength, and to love one's neighbor as oneself, ended on a Roman cross. So the costs of working in middle space are real. The question is whether there are potential opportunities that outweigh the potential costs.